Righto guys, so today I brought the Moto Morini up to Auckland, and while it's waiting for its service, I thought I'd sneak out on Triumph's Scrambler 1200 XC. So this is the slightly less off-road oriented of the two Scrambler 1200s. I've actually ridden the XE before, and I think it was kind of a bit harsh on it when I reviewed it. I only had it for a day as well. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to nip out on this and see what I thought about it now that my off-road skills have improved, as well as it's been out for a couple of years now. This one's got some cool accessories on it, so it's got the waterproof Triumph bag. I've thrown my camera in there. It also has some engine bars, cool little headlight protector, and I believe it's got an accessory for the LED indicators as well. So it's a pretty I want to say little bike. It's not a little bike, it's quite a large bike. I do love how that is sorted. I should probably tighten that up now I'm looking at it. Last thing I want is my camera disappearing. Yeah, factory Triumph waterproof bag on a luggage rack there, which is quite cool. So yeah, much easier to get on than the XE. The XE's got taller suspension. I believe the XE also gets off-road pro mode. This has road, sport, off-road, rain, and user. So yeah, let's put it into road mode, because I'm just getting used to this thing. So my plan is I've got about four hours to kill. So I'm going to go out to the Hunua ranges, find some gravel, find somewhere nice and quiet, and take some pretty pictures of this bike. And also play with it in some gravel. I've done some highway riding on it, and yeah, you definitely feel like a bit of a sail, especially jumping off the Morini, which has that lovely big fairing in front of you. This, you gotta hold on, otherwise you start to feel like you're sliding back a bit. Beautiful engine though. I forgot how much I love these Triumph twins. So I believe this is the high torque 1200 engine. They also do a high power version, which I think the Thruxton gets, and maybe the Speed twin. But it's just a lovely engine. As they say, God fills the torque. So this is a bike that doesn't have a quick shifter, which I kind of thought it probably would have, but that I believe will be a factory option. But it snicks through the gears quite nicely, and you're feeling quite a commanding riding position. Big wide bars, nice upright seating position. And I'm wearing earplugs, but I can hear a hint of a gorgeous exhaust note coming out the back. So yeah, all in all, not a bad bike to hop out on for a few hours while I wait for the Morini to be serviced. So one thing I've noticed is, despite this being Triumph's sort of early generation TFT, it's still gorgeous to look at. Gives you all the display info you need. Yes, it does feel kind of cramped compared to a modern sort of rectangular TFT, but it sort of fits the style of this bike quite well. I think it's got optional back menus as well. And you can make it hide all the extra stuff, so you can, when I jumped on it for instance, it didn't have the trip meters on the right or the tachometer showing. It just had the central gauge there. But yeah, for tech that's what, 4 years old now, maybe? Can't remember when I last jumped on one of these. It's been a while. It still looks great. Brakes feel lovely. I'm a wee bit hesitant to go a bit too hard just because of how damp the road is. So we'll leave it there for now, and we'll come back when we get to the gravel. Rightio, we found the road out to the ranges. So we can just potter around out here. And like I said before, I've got plenty of time to kill, so I can just take my time and enjoy the relative peace and quiet. Or the lovely twisty corners. So when I think Scrambler, this is the kind of road and scenery I think of. I sort of think of a gravel road or rough back road. So this road's not the nicest in terms of quality. That's right, that's someone's driveway, but it's always tempting to go up there. Very rare to actually encounter anyone on these roads, but always got to keep an eye out. Right, here's the gravel starting, so we're going to switch her into off-road mode, so it just turns the ABS off at the rear. But to do that you have to be stopped. Off-road mode, select. There we go. And there's still traction control involved there. Oh, I do have the ABS off at the rear, so that's what the main thing I wanted. So it feels quite light and actually a lot better than I remember the 1200 being in the gravel. So I had the XE on a filthy day, I think it was June 2019. I went on a big gravel ride around North Auckland on it. Filthy weather, and yeah, I just didn't gel with the bike. I'm not sure if it's because the XC model's more approachable or if my riding skills have just improved so much more that I'm actually finding this a lot more enjoyable to be on. Like I found the XE quite tall, quite imposing, to the point where I wasn't really having that much fun on it on the day. Where this is lovely. Like I can easily get my foot down if I need to. Ooh. Yeah, we don't have particularly knobby tyres for this gravel road stuff, so if traction control's on, I'm thankful for it. Another thing I've got turned on and got on full is heated grips, because it's the middle of winter and my hands get cold. And while I do have some lovely winter gloves, I don't know about you guys, but I hate how clunky winter gloves make everything feel. Ugh. Yeah, those corrugations threw this around a wee bit. So it does have some Öhlins shocks on the rear of this thing. But I don't have any tools or anything to do any adjustments. So it's probably not set up ideally for my weight, but it's doing nicely. Yeah. Actually, I might have to turn these heated grips down. They're getting a bit too hot. A little too hot. So, Matt, remember, don't tuck the front and fall off. Doesn't look good in videos. Now, I know I could, probably in a lot of people's eyes, should be standing in this, but one thing with these Triumph Scramblers that is a little bit difficult is standing, because you've got the exhaust on the right hand side, and while it does dip in a bit, your leg is right up against it, and it just doesn't quite feel so natural. It's lovely and warm, that exhaust though. I'm quite enjoying that on my leg. Now that is usually my photo spot, so we will very carefully not drop it in the deep gravel. Whoa, all the mud. Crikey. Whoa. Alright, let's try and get a photo. Okie dokie, this could be challenging. Getting off the wet grass. Definitely notice it's a bit heavier once you're pushing it in wet grass, that's for sure. Okay, so one thing I noticed, probably want to have you facing forward rather than down. Okay, mode. Defaulted to road mode. That'll catch you out. Woohoo, slippery. Whoa. Don't be a dickhead, Matt. Whew. That was close. Alright, don't fall over here again. Done that once, not fun. Yeah. Stop talking to myself, talk to you guys. Notice it's got HP on the side of the engine, so that I think means high power engine, not high torque. Either way, it's going lovely. Just gliding along. Factory fitted with Metzler Tourance tyres, I think is what we've got on here. So obviously not the most ideal thing to be on some soggy grass with, but hey, we got off in the end. Yeah, that's the spot. That looks like a scramblery road for photos. Neutral. Side stand has this bike sitting quite high. Ugh, mud. Like, it's almost vertical, which is quite interesting. I'm not too sure how I feel about that, but I do know, I'm pretty sure anyway, that I hideously got it wrong. Yes, I think I definitely got it wrong on the Triumph Scrambler 1200s. Yes, they're not quite adventure bikes, but you're not buying them to be adventure bikes, are you? You're buying them because they look awesome and you can poodle around in the gravel, no dramas on them. So I think my mind is officially in the right place regarding these bikes. Like, sure, you could theoretically do some hard adventure riding on them, but they're just so pretty, and I don't know, maybe they're like Range Rovers and Land Rovers, sort of fourth or fifth owner will be the one that actually off-roads them properly. But they do have the potential there. They've got decent enough ground clearance. Skid plate. Like, you could theoretically go pretty far into the woods on one of these if you were game enough. You'd want a different set of tyres. You'd want protection. Chuck some handguards on there and away you go. Right, let's take some pretty pictures, eh? Rightio guys, photos taken. I just had to fiddle around with the menu because you can. And it gives you the option to fiddle around with the rider modes. So off-road, TC, you have off-road setting, or you can turn it off completely, which is nice. So let's turn it off. ABS, off-road setting, map, off-road setting. So hit home, see what difference this makes. Well, immediately feels a lot peppier. So that traction control system really was reining things in quite considerably. Well, yeah, massively was reining things in. This feels a bit more energetic. Can't ride like a dick because the last thing I want is to drop another Triumph on this road. But oh, that feels so much more sprightly with the traction control turned off. Now, brakes are considerable, really, for this bike, I think. Right, oh, okay, can't go that way at all. Oh, this bike's a lot of fun when you turn the traction control off, that's for sure. Righto. So my initial impression off-road of this bike was, well, off-road in the gravel, in the dirt, it was quite subdued, but whack that traction control off and it's a hoot. It really wakens up. Counterweighting that. This is a heavier bike than the Rally. Oh, this is quite enjoyable. Feed it in. Yeah. I think I did this bike the dirty the first time I rode it. I wasn't all that confident on it. I was trying to keep up with other faster riders and such. But jumping on the XC, not the XE, the XC just feels like a lovely, well put together bike. Now, if I got the chance to ride the XE again, would I? Probably. I feel I need to review that again now that I've just got a little bit more off-road confidence. I still can't ride off-road worth a damn, to be honest, but hey, I'm trying. But what a lovely bike this is. So, okay, of course it's not an adventure bike. It's not going to get loaded up with heaps of luggage and go touring the back roads of the country. You could if you wanted to, but you're probably better off on an actual ADV bike like a Tiger. But this is like a fun weekend bike or a commuter that you want to do some back roads on. Hell yeah, this is awesome fun in the gravel. The Metz Tourance tyres are a wee bit of a limiting factor, but then again, it's not really meant to be a hardcore off-road bike, is it? The suspension's quite nice. Not quite sure what the settings are for it at the moment, but yeah, it feels nice and planted. It did come unstuck here on all these corrugations on the gravel though. It wasn't a fan of those, so probably some tweaking to be done on the suspension if you were going to be doing a lot of harder gravel roads. But you got decent enough ground clearance. You could probably do an adventure ride and survive. Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about the potential of damaging that beautiful fuel tank. On the fuel tank, I love the Monza style fuel cap, but come on, Triumph, like, you pop the cool little Monza cap up, and then you've got to unscrew another fuel cap, and then you've got to put that fuel cap, I don't know, it's a pet peeve, it's a bit annoying, and you'd think on a bike as premium as a Triumph that'd have that kind of sorted out. Alright, and that's it for the dirt. So, pull over. I also managed to switch the indicators to manual because, I'm sorry Triumph, but I absolutely frickin' hate self-cancelling indicators. Let's go to road mode. Right. Lovely. considering this bike has a 21-inch front wheel, it changes direction quite nicely. But yeah, it's not quite as sharp as say a 17 would be. But it's perfectly comfortable linking these corners together. Right, so I need to do an outro for this bike. Hopefully you can actually hear me, not just with noise. But yeah, Scrambler 1200 XC. Spent the day with it while the Motor Marini is getting serviced. Its first service is getting locked in as we speak. And I got to say, I have thoroughly enjoyed this bike. So when I had the Scrambler XE, I didn't really gel with it, I've got to be honest. I think it was more bike than I could handle at the time, and what I was using it for that day, yeah, it just wasn't ideal. Trying to keep up with former enduro riders on gravel roads, on a bike I'd never ridden before, so yeah, it's been nice to just poodle about with this today and enjoy it. Just play around with it a bit more, fiddle around with some settings. Yeah, I highly enjoyed my time on this. Yeah, wind blast is possibly one of the only negatives, other than that Scrambler exhaust when you're trying to stand up. But I kind of think that if you chuck some sort of really wide rally pegs on this, you can probably get around that annoying exhaust when you're trying to stand up on it. I was even thinking you could probably do some actual adventure rides, sort of one big day type stuff, or a long way around. You'd probably get away with it on a bike like this. Yeah, you just got to be a bit careful about this beautiful fuel tank. But yeah, whack a set of handguards on it. This one's already got all the other crash protection. I think it'd actually do alright. Set of knobby tyres. So yeah, Scrambler 1200 XC, I think it's definitely much more bike than a lot of people give it credit for, especially with the XE being out there with the longer suspension and whatnot. People tend to forget about the XC. It's a road bike. Well, it may be a road bike, but it's a bloody good one, and it can do a bit of off-road if you ask it to. But yeah, overall it's a surprisingly good package, this, which I suppose I shouldn't be surprised by at all really, because Triumph have been doing Scramblers for yonks. There we go, let's use those big Brembos to stop. Whoa, nice big Brembos. Yeah, Triumph have been in the Scrambler game for a long time, they know what they're doing. And yeah, while this doesn't have quite the ground clearance of the XE, it would get it around most places, no worries. Decent set of tyres, don't have much to worry about. Looks cool, commutes well, that 1200cc engine's glorious, I love that. Yeah, first gen TFT, like, hey, it's a first gen TFT, but it still looks great. Yes, it feels a wee bit cramped compared to what we're used to now with the big sort of rectangular blocks that everyone seems to use instead, but I think that TFT works brilliantly with this bike. Would I change anything on this one? No, not really. Maybe see if there's a bit more of a comfort seat option. I've been riding all day, and yeah, just getting a bit of a sore tailbone, but that could just be me as well. But anyway, yeah, Scrambler 1200 XE, I'd happily ride this a lot more, but I have a Motor Marini to go and collect, so off we go to do that. So yeah, thanks for watching my wee day of play with the Scrambler 1200 XC. It's been a lovely bike for the day. Now it's time to go grab the Motor Marini X-Cape long-termer and start doing some content on that bad boy, because I've missed riding that bike. So, till next time, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like and comment and all those good things that make YouTube show this video to other people. And I'll see you on the next ride.